Good. All right. Hey guys, Dr. Madeline here with Forward Spine Center, and today I'm at Steady Strides Physical Therapy with Ann. Ann is a pediatric physical therapist and founder of Steady Strides Pediatric Physical Therapy here in Lake Elmo, with more than 26 years of experience working with infants and children in hospitals, outpatient clinics, schools, early intervention settings. Ann is passionate about helping kids become confident, independent movers through play-based individualized therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, through Steady Strides, Ann works with babies, children experiencing motor delays, torticollis, plagiocephaly, neurological and genetic conditions, balance and coordination challenges, all of it. Her approach focuses heavily on early intervention, purposeful play, family education, and creating a calm, supportive environment where children can thrive at their own pace.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, let's chat a little bit. Can you just introduce yourself and
Yep.
share a little bit about what led you into pediatric physical therapy and eventually opening Steady Strides?
Yeah. Yes. Well, as you said, I have been doing this for a long time, 26 years. But I knew when I went into PT school, I wanted to work with kids. So I just have had a passion for supporting families, young families, and during those foundational years. And I've worked in a variety of settings, but I had always dreamed of opening up my own practice, and here I am, and wanted to take all these elements from all these other areas and families and things that I've worked with over the years and kind of put them together to provide support for families in the way that I think just fits best for them. So
yeah, and you have a beautiful space.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a really nice, cozy, homey space versus like something super clinical, so that it felt really inviting to families and kids. I mean, working with kids, it has to feel like fun, and it has to be play-based, because that's how kids learn best, and that's how they make strength and improvement gains the best, is when they're playing. They're not going to sit down and do 10 reps of something, or follow like this regimented home program. It's got to be weaved into their daily routine and made to be fun. So my space had to reflect hopefully what I want them to kind of create for them when they go home and when they leave.
Yeah. And one thing I love about your philosophy is the idea that motor development is not a marathon, or a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit why early intervention matters and why you encourage parents not to wait and see?
Yes. So, first starting off, like, it is not a sprint. It is not a race. And I think just in today's culture, especially with social media and so on, there's so much comparison. There's so much of that. Oh, who's doing this and who's doing what and this and that. And it can be super frustrating and super discouraging and so forth when you're watching your child develop and you're concerned, my neighbor or my sister's baby has started walking at 9 months, and mine can barely sit by themselves, and things like that. Like, there's such this comparison thing, and it's really hard to know, especially when you're a first-time mom or even second, third-time mom, what should my child be doing, and how can I help them? And so, and a lot of times too, they're told, oh, just wait and see. It's fine. It's normal. It's okay. But in your gut, you're feeling something different.
Yeah.
And so I usually say, like, instead of wait and see, let's go and see, when in doubt, check it out.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, because it's really hard to know when you have all this comparison around you, really what we should be doing. And it's my treatment philosophy that motor development is not a race, but it's really based on sequence and developing those foundational skills early on to support thriving development later. In the infancy and really young kids, that neuroplasticity of the brain is it's at its peak. And so there's so much motor development and coordination and everything that can be built really quickly and really early on to really develop these skills that are more efficient and just better for future development. We're not going to, if we can work in early intervention early, when something is just off just a little bit, we can hopefully avoid those compensations and things that just lead to dysfunction later on.
Yeah. Like
so
a whole cascade.
Yeah,
of things
exactly.
That can come up.
Exactly. I talk about the cascade effect all the time, and like one thing leads to another, to another, to another. But if we could have nipped it right here, kind of shifted just a little bit and got back on track, how that really just compounds on itself over time.
But then also like the neurological, I mean, that's so deep. That's so, right? So it's like giving your children grace and like being like being very just calm during the process, right?
Yep.
And yeah, just because when you're dealing with a neurological, it's deep.
Yes. Yep.
And you can't force it.
Exactly. You can't. And kids do develop at their own pace for sure. And that's why we have to give them that grace, give them that time. But also, if they're having a little bit of trouble or struggle, or you're concerned, how can we support that pace?
Yeah.
And help them just develop upon that. And it's shifting, what position you put your child into play, or how you set up their play space or their environment, or really what toys you purchase and which ones you don't.
Yeah.
And the key is you probably don't have to purchase as much as you think.
And if you hear any noises, my son is playing with all these wonderful toys around.
Yes.
Okay. So for parents who may be new to pediatric physical therapy, what are some common signs and concerns that might indicate your child could benefit with an evaluation?
Yeah. So really that infancy, what we're looking at is, first of all, is your baby comfortable in their body? So oftentimes, kids are told they have reflux or colic, and you just have to wait it out and things like that. Well, I personally believe that nothing really lives in isolation. The whole body is intertwined in our systems. And so why aren't they comfortable in their bodies? And a lot of times those reflux colicky babies have trouble with tummy time. Okay, my baby hates tummy time, so we don't do tummy time. Okay, what does that lead to later, and so forth? So problems with tummy time, when they're not comfortable in their bodies. If you're seeing head turn preferences, my baby's always got their head, cocked one way and turned one way. We're starting to see a flat spot. Those are great referrals for PT. My little one's only rolls to one side. Or they don't, like I said, don't like the tummy time. They're butt scooting. They're not, crawling on their hands and knees. And the American Academy of Pediatrics took crawling off the developmental checklist as an important skill that kids need to attain. And recently, and
how do you feel about that?
We us therapists hate that. It is important. Yeah. It's so important. Yeah. It's so much more than just mobility. Getting from one spot to another. It helps with shoulder girdle, hand development, hip development. That reciprocal movement uses both sides of the brain. So it helps with reading and handwriting and just so many other things than just mobility. So crawling is important. Yeah. And if your little one is skipping it, let's back up. Let's go get that skill that they need for future development and so forth. So all those kinds of things. If something doesn't feel right with your kid's positioning, comfort, or mobility, it's a great time to go check it out, and just see. And pediatric providers who are seeing your kids, for their well child checks, they're covering so much. They're covering everything from eating, sleeping, vaccinations, medications, all this stuff, development, but they just have that really snippet of time to, and so going to see a motor specialist when you have a concern is the best way to go. I wish they had well child motor checks or something like that. That was heavy.
And it's not going to hurt. If anything, an evaluation is just going to hopefully find something that could lead to issues down the road. Yeah. So, if you have a concern, just come get checked out. Yeah, just go check it out and see. Why not? Awesome. Yeah. So your treatment approach is very play-based and family-centered. What does a pediatric physical therapy appointment or actually look like for babies and young children, and how would you make their therapy fun and empowering instead of intimidating? Yeah. So another reason I created this space is I wanted kids to want to come in and play. So there's other businesses in this office building, and the kids are always peeking in, oh, I want to go in there. Yeah. So I wanted to create a place that was inviting, welcoming, because a session has to look and feel like play. So for infants and little ones, it's let's get on the floor. Let's try different positions. What positions are great for development at which stage they're at. Mm-hmm. Did they skip anything that we need to go back and work on? But so that's let's play on the floor. Let's incorporate sensory and movement together to try to help facilitate, whatever skill we're working on. So, and then for infants or for little kids, toddlers and littles, it's very play-based. I think I said earlier, we're not going to sit down and do, 10
hamstring curls or something, but how can we engage the hamstrings? Okay, we can work on squatting. How can we do that? We can build an obstacle course. We can have little coordination and balance games. We can play on a swing. We can just, on a wobble board, just incorporating all sorts of things to really engage, to facilitate the skill that we want through play.
And how parents can learn so much. You know, like, oh, I could do this at home with this thing that we have. I think of like when the kids, our twins were NICUs and they had some interventions and some evaluations early on. And I learned so much from the OTs and the PTs, and I learned different toys that they could take away. Like parents learn so much just by coming into your space.
Yeah. That's my hope, because, I'm treating them maybe an hour a week, maybe 2 hours a week if I'm super lucky. But all that learning happens at home when it's woven into their daily routine. Right. And and I think one of the hardest things probably about being a parent, and it started when my kids were little. I mean, my kids are in their early 20s, but all these products and things that are sold to us, this is going to help your child stand. This is going to help your child walk. And we don't need all that. And so just trying to guide parents, really what is important? What do you need to focus on? What will best support your child's development? And hopefully making it where I'm empowering them and they're feeling relaxed and comfortable instead of stressed and really not knowing where to go.
We have very comfortable coaches.
Well, thank you.
Very relaxed. So you work with such a wide variety of children, from infants with torticollis to plagiocephaly to kids with neurological or genetic conditions. What has been the most rewarding for you in helping children and families through their developmental journey?
Yeah. One of the things I feel like I have gotten a bit of it in my earlier career, building up to this, but I really want to create these long-standing relationships with these families, so that whether they need support ongoing over the years, or we work for a while and they take off, and then I got a text from a family that I treated 3 years ago. And it was a video of her son jumping off this ramp and then riding a bike. And she was like, I can't thank you enough for what you did to support him when he was little, and look at what he's doing now. Yeah. That's the stuff that is so fun and rewarding. And it's those kids too that I work with over the years, that I'm the one that they call when I need some help with this, or what do you think about this? And I'm very relationship based. I want to be a support system for families, and just getting their kids to be the most independent and thrive at whatever level they can.
I can definitely feel that when I'm in your space. You bring a lot of care and a lot of compassion towards your patients. So if someone's watching, what's one piece of advice that you would kind of leave them with? If there's something that you kind of
trust your gut. Trust your gut. Yep. And it doesn't hurt to just go check it out and see, for sure.
So if someone would like to reach you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, I have a website. It's steady-strides.com. You can look me up on Instagram, but all you have to do is, contact me. I've got, my contact information, but all you have to do is reach out and you connect directly with me. I don't have a scheduling team or a group of therapists. It's just me. So anyways, if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me and we will have a conversation. We can start with a phone consult. You can stop in and we can take a peek, and just,
This place is pretty cool. Oh, and is this place pretty cool?
Yeah. Thanks for coming to play today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. Thank you.
Dr. Madeline, thank you for allowing me to be part of your health journey.
Thank you.